Hey everybody, hope you're doing all well. I'm just down at Warragul and I'm with a very special friend of mine. His name is Tony Sutcliffe and he's an amazing healer, and many of you have probably heard me talk about him before because he conducts sweat lodges, which I have attended quite a few from last year to the beginning of this year. And we're just sitting in Tony's meditation room, and just going to bring it around. Hi Tony.
Hi.
Great to be with you today. How are you feeling?
I'm always feeling good. Worn out, but always feeling good.
And I met Tony last October. I came down here to do a sweat lodge, and absolutely amazing experience. And
They're
Tony,
hard work, aren't they, right?
Tony, I want to start off with I want to know a little bit more about you and what brought you to the spiritual path. Were you always aware as a child, or?
No.
Okay.
I had a vision. I had an astral travel, I guess you call it. When I was 5 years old, I saw something in a lake that looked like a green man with horns and wings on his back. And he's swimming through the ground, through the lake, and he was looking at me. And my dad at the time, he said, it's just one of those things. That's all he said. And when I woke up, I asked Dad if we'd been fishing and we'd been to the lake, and he said, no, we're not going anywhere today because we made sick. And I thought, but I saw this thing. And anyway, after that, I didn't really see anything else or do anything else. I pretty much became an alcoholic growing up. Had a lot of pain in my heart. Didn't realise how broken I was. How my life was. It wasn't the best. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's all an experience, isn't it?
It is. It taught me a lot. I ended up when I was with my old partner. We had some spooky things happening, especially at her place, to the point where I wouldn't even sit on the toilet because I thought a ghost was going to come up and grab me and pull me down. It was just weird. I had fear of everything in this house because the billiard table downstairs would come alive over night time, and you could hear the cabinets shaking all night long, and it's like, yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. But as for me, I didn't see a lot then. I didn't hear a lot, but I was involved in it, but didn't understand it. And then when my ex left me, quite a few years ago, quite a long time ago now, I ended up living in this house that was haunted with 3 poltergeists, and they would pull me down the hallway, slam doors in my face, throw all the pictures off the walls, and poke me all night long, drain my energy. And until I did something about it, I asked for a lot of help. No one wanted to help me, so I had to do it on my own. So I had to figure everything out on my own. And I got the 3 spirits, and I dragged them, put my hands out and dragged them into this room. I pushed them into this room, and I said, you're staying here until you go wherever you got to go. And eventually they did. It took me 3 days, but I got rid of them. Well, they left the house. And then this spirit, I'm not going to call it a spirit because I think it was beyond a spirit. It sat in front of me when I lay down in bed and took away all my pain. Everything left me. There was the most amazing bliss. I don't think I've ever felt it ever again. And she spoke this language that I've never heard before. And then after that she left, and my whole world turned upside down.
Wow.
That's when this spiritual journey really started.
Do you think at that stage you were going through a dark night of the soul? Because, I mean, at many times in our life we can go through the dark night of the soul
Yeah.
again and again and again.
Yeah, I think it was. I really do. It was pretty hectic. My younger part of my life.
Had you always been drawn to the Native American
No,
culture?
no, never.
Amazing.
No cultures. I was never drawn anywhere. No, not even to Egypt.
Yeah.
Which has a lot to do with what I'm doing now.
Yeah. I'd like to for you to talk about your time in Egypt and also what you discovered in Egypt. When did you exactly go to Egypt? 2018.
2018 we went to Egypt. Took my partner, Fiona, because I always wanted to go there.
Mm.
I said to Spirit, if you want me to get there, provide the money to get us all there. And within 3 months we had enough money to go. I thought, wow, we're really going. I had saved it all up. I'm going, yeah, all right, let's do it. So I pushed the button on the internet and said we brought some tickets, and off we went. I thought, oh my God, this is really happening. And when we got there, it was quite a shock because the energy wasn't what I was expecting.
Really?
It just didn't.
Was it a heavy energy or?
No, I expected magic. I expected power. I expected all the spirits to be sitting there going, thank God you're here, because when I first started this journey, I had a scribe sitting in front of me, and he said, Egypt awaits you.
Wow.
And I thought, what the hell does that mean?
Mm.
Told by my teacher that you've got to go to Egypt. I said, yeah, I can't because I've got no money, but eventually it all worked out, and as I said, we went. But it wasn't what I expected. We went around a lot of places. We did get a lot of energy from the pyramids.
Yep.
Inside the King's Chamber, I didn't feel amazing. I didn't feel what other people, oh my God, I've seen all of this before. I know what's around the corner. I know this and I know. So I didn't get any of that. We went to a lot of temples, and I thought, where everyone was looking, we went opposite. Said there's something more about this room. And we'd ask, and that was where ceremonies and rituals were done. We felt the energy from that. No, we didn't get it. And when I walked, I can say that on here, when I walked between the two pyramids, I found this rock.
Yes.
And it was a rock with Australia actually on it, and it even has Tasmania, and it was upside down on it, and I thought, wow, have a look at this.
Have a look at this rock. Look at that. There's Australia and there's Tasmania.
But it's the opposite. So if you're sitting on the opposite side of the world, like around Earth, it would be upside down, which we all know it's not round. It's very debatable, that.
Yeah, very. We certainly don't believe the NASA story, do we, Tony?
No, we don't believe the NASA story, but I'm very open to a lot of things about what we're actually living on. But that rock there, I asked why I got it, and they said the magic's not here anymore. It's in Australia. And I knew that in my old workshop, where my old place in Druin, which is the next town up, I had an old weatherboard, and I had a shed out the back. And when I first set it up, I was wondering whether it would ever work, whether it would be a workshop, a spiritual workshop where people would come. Well, bugger me, that turned into one of the most powerful places I've ever sat in. Every night when I drove home from work, my dog would get out of the car and just sit there and look. I said, what are you looking at? He'd just sit there and look. I said, what are you actually looking at? I can't see it. And my teacher come down one day and said, Tony, have you actually seen the boat, the Egyptian boat in your driveway? I said, that's what my dog is looking at. And she said, all the Egyptians are just flowing into your shed. There is so many of them. And this went on for 6 months.
Wow.
They just filled this workshop full of so much energy. It was insane, absolutely insane. And then one day it disappeared. It stopped. And my teacher come down and yelled at me, "What have you done now?" I said, "Nothing, why?" And she said, "The boat's gone." I said, "Well, maybe it's full. They don't need it anymore." She will always go in the negative. I go in the positive.
Was this teacher your teacher? He was the Lakota?
No.
No.
Lakota was another story.
Mm.
This was just a teacher from up around this way in Warragul. But like most of them, they're all full of ego, and once they see that you go beyond them, they just want to squash you, and I didn't like that at all. So
We've seen a lot of that happening in the last 3 years, haven't we, Tony? Especially with
people's egos going through the roofs, and I'm better than you. I said, it's not a competition. But that's been a big part of my journey for a long, long time. People are scared of what you're actually capable of doing because you've been doing it for a shorter time than what they have, and how dare you be able to do more than what I can? It's like, it's not a competition. I'm just doing it because I can, and I actually enjoy doing it. I don't do it for ego.
Yeah.
I don't do any of this for ego. I've learned that very well.
Well, one thing's for sure, Tony. When I started having the sweat lodges, the healing energy that comes from those was just amazing, and
That's
how.
one place you can't have ego.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you get hurt.
Yep. Big time. The thing I loved about sweat lodges was the clearing, the purification.
I remember your very first one. That one hurt you.
Yes, and you saw the wolf's eyes, which the wolf is my totem animal.
Yeah, you used to see a lot in the sweat lodges, which we will do again.
But I was full of anger. I think that anger that I was full of was many lifetimes.
Yeah.
And you know,
like a can of worms, and you just went, "Ah!"
Yeah, we were, we'd just been in lockdown, and I've seen through this whole system and bullshit for a very long time, and living in this time that we're living in, and being able to see other people wake up to what I've seen, and then the anger that I've felt with other people not being able to see, and just the collective energy, and my own family life and what's occurred in that. It was all, building up.
It all came to a head. And that's what sweat lodges do. They push all your pain to the surface, so that you have to deal with it there and then. And as a facilitator myself, I come along and I help you guide you through that, and get everyone to be able to work their stuff out and get to the other side and feel great about it when it's all over and finished.
The thing I loved about it, Tony, is it brought me back into my heart. A few tears, letting go.
A lot of letting go, yeah.
But, once you're back in your heart, that's when you can really hear spirit.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I miss, that, lately we haven't done any sweat lodges.
There's a reason why I haven't done any, and that's a long story, but it's to do with a lot of the dark that's happening right now. We are in a massive battle, and I have said it on Facebook a few times that I'm saving the energy right now, because we are fighting every single day and night. The dark forces that are still at play, but we are defeating them, and we will finish this off very soon. They've actually lost, but they're like blowflies at a barbecue. They just won't go away.
Yeah.
So
because they've been here for a very long time.
Yeah, and we've been fighting for a long, long time.
Lifetimes.
And I look forward to the very end of this, where we come out on top and just say, "Now you can leave the planet."
So tell me about your awakening, Tony. We've all been having them, especially in the last 20 years. Many of us have woke up, but I'd like to hear how you started to awaken, as far as...
I just knew. I just knew things. And Fiona would say to me, my partner, she would say to me, "Why do you hate that person? Why do you hate the Queen? Why do you hate..." Actually, you really say bad things about her. Yeah, because I really don't like her. I don't know why. but I really don't like her. I really don't like him. I really don't. There's something really, and I just knew. And then the truth would come out.
Mm.
And then you go, see, I already knew, but I didn't know why I knew. Because I never questioned. I just went along with my gut, my instincts, and just went, right, there's something about this person I don't need to know about you.
Yeah.
I don't need to. And that's sort of happened all my life, really.
And did you know about the Freemasons before it all started to come out? Because, I mean, you live in quite a place that's got a Masonic lodge and even a lot of Tartarian buildings down here too.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of them. There's a lot. Yeah. The more you know, the more you start to see.
Yes.
No, because I didn't put the darkness with all of that. I was fighting the battle with the darkness. And a lot of people have been turned away from me because of that. You always talk too much about the dark. Well, you can't hide it. It's been here. And I've been trying to teach people for the last 30 years how to deal with the darkness. And they've witnessed it when they've been in my group, and they run because they actually witness it. And it's supposed to be love and light. Oh, you know, there's dark as well. When you turn the light out, there's dark. So it's exactly the same. And I lost a lot of people over that. And that's okay. They weren't meant to be in my groups. But the ones that I have held with me have become some of the strongest warriors I've ever met. And I really appreciate that because they've stuck by me. And now we battle together.
Yep.
And it's quite amazing. Back to your question, when did I wake up? I don't really know. I can't really say.
I think your soul's always known though. Like
inside, yes.
Yeah.
And I just go with my instincts and go with whatever direction spirit are pushing me. And it all unfolds around me anyway. So, yeah, it's been very interesting.
Yeah, it's been a battle, Tony, and just at the moment, with the heavy energies, the collective energies that are out there, just maintaining a high vibration.
I'm
How are you?
in my work that I do now, for the time being. I do a lot of symbol work, energy work when I'm driving around, and everywhere I go, I'm pushing my symbols. I was actually driving down to Warragul a couple of weeks ago, and there was a lot of angry people on the road. So I pushed TC, my symbol, on the highway. I just pushed it out in front of me. And on the way back from Warragul, I was on the phone to Fiona. I said, the road's pink. I can see pink everywhere. All down the side of the road, the whole road is pink. I go, why is it all pink? And Fiona goes, you put your TC down there. Oh, yeah. We're all driving on love. And everyone's energy changed. And it's like, this is how powerful this is. You don't want it angry, you change it. You don't want that energy vibration, you change it. You don't put it out there, you don't get it back. You don't focus, because Fiona's always pulling me up on that one. If I get frustrated, that's what they want. That's what these dark ones want. They want the loose energy of you being angry, because your energy is a lot stronger than a lot of other people, so you're giving more. And I pull up straight away. No, you're not getting it. And everything around me would change. All the cars driving, people would all change. And I was thinking, yeah, you've got to keep on top of it, no matter what.
Yep. Let's talk a little bit more about the sweat lodge, and maybe for those who have never experienced a sweat lodge, what temperatures are we looking at when we're in?
One of them, I did put a thermometer in there, but you have to remember it's a humidity heat. It's not. It's a wet heat. It's not a dry heat. So 85, 90 degrees, and to the point where you literally can get blisters on your skin if I push it that far.
Yes.
And I have only done that a few times.
Yep.
And that's with only one or two people that have done a lot of them before.
And do you know much about the historical how
they all come apart?
I heard that the sweat lodges were given to them. Celtic.
They started in with the Celtic tradition.
Yeah.
Many years, centuries ago, and the Native Americans actually borrowed it off them.
Mm.
So it's not there. It didn't come from Native America right from the word go. And yet, if you go to do a sweat lodge in here without permission, they believe they had the right to come and shut you down.
Right.
But it's not theirs.
Yeah.
But in saying so, their sweat lodges, the Native American sweat lodges, are very powerful. I've sat in many of those, and
there's no breaks in those ones, because we were having little breaks.
In those,
yep.
You go in, you stay in. You leave, and you stay out. But the energy of those, because they sing their traditional songs, and I will never ever sing a traditional song because I am not Native American. I never ever said that I was. I never pushed that on anyone, saying that I am. So I never felt that I had the right to sing their songs anyway. But I sing my own.
Yeah.
I just create my own, and I had fun with those. But when you sat in a sweat lodge that actually sang the traditional songs, the energy is a whole lot different, and it's really powerful. That's where I learned.
It's a purging. It feels like a purge.
It brings all your darkest secrets to the surface. It brings your pain that you thought that you got rid of to the surface. It brings all your emotions that you push so far down back up to the surface, and you have to deal with them. And there's a lot of fear that comes to the surface. There's a whole lot of fear that comes out. I've got to get out of here. I can't do this. And it just pushes you beyond.
Well, it's dealing with your primordial fears of heat, darkness.
Well, your ego is the first thing to say. Get out of here. This is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Although it won't kill you. If it's done correctly, you can't get hurt in a sweat lodge.
Yeah.
You will get pushed to the limits, yes, but you can't get hurt in one.
I can't say that I felt physically hurt. It was more the emotional stuff coming to the surface as to what gave me a little bit of pain. But, I mean, the more that you do them, the more you cleanse.
The more cleanse you get.
And you just start to notice it in your day-to-day life. Things start to change.
I was doing 3 a week once.
Wow.
And the one I held here was only once a month.
Yeah.
And I thought, I used to do this sometimes 3 times a week.
And you also do healings as well, Tony.
Yes,
and
I've been doing healings for a long time.
Yes. Yep.
I've had the pleasure of working on thousands of people. And like my partner said today, people would come in broken and they would leave with a smile on their face. And I've seen that so many times, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever. They would leave differently because of the energy work that I've done. I'm a Reiki master, I'm a Seishim master, which is Egyptian. And I have my own techniques I've created over the years, and they work well. Yeah,
I must say they do work very well, Tony. And during the whole COVID BS, you were getting calls from mothers who were experiencing their teenagers having suicidal
thoughts, darkness. Had a lot of that. Guided a lot of children through that, kids through that.
Because unfortunately I've noticed it's the children and the teenagers that have copped it big time from the dark forces.
Yeah, because they're the innocent ones, and their light is still strong.
Yes.
And they've tried to take it, they've tried to stop them before they get too powerful.
Yep. Because their old souls come back here.
At the right time too.
Yeah.
This time especially, because of the battle that we're in and where we're ascending to. It's very powerful.
And Tony, what's your how do you stay positive every day? Like, do you have like morning routines?
No.
What? I know you're a truck driver, so
I get up, I go to work, I smile, I make people smile. I go in, if somebody's grumpy, I'll change it. I love changing the energy, And people say, how do you do that? And I said, I don't want to be like you.
Yeah.
I don't want to be heavy. I don't want to be dark. I don't want to be sad. There's no point. So I make people smile because that makes me smile. It lifts everybody's energy up. Walk into a room and change it.
And the one thing I love about you, Tony, is that you're fearless. And
Yeah. Only thing that I'm fearful of is people. When it comes to the dark, I'm not scared at all. Not one little bit. I'll fight anything that comes at me. But when it comes to people, it's a different story.
What do you think that stems back to with just being apprehensive with people?
People are unpredictable. Spirit aren't.
Yeah.
They're very predictable. You can work it out if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can see way beyond what they're doing or wanting to try and do. Especially after all the years of being attacked.
Yes.
I know exactly what they're up to.
Tony reminds me, I don't know if any of you have watched the show called Supernatural, but Tony to me is a real life version of the two guys that are in Supernatural. My partner Michael, he just loves that show. He watches it every night. But Tony to me is a real life version. He's like a demon slayer.
I've actually watched all of those and thought, how did you come up with that? Because that's real. That's actually real. I've actually done that. I've done that. I've used that. I've had to do that. Laying the salt down above the doors and on the floor, and if it breaks, they get in. And I've dealt with some really dark forces. I've dealt with a lot of things that people wouldn't even comprehend. But that's okay though. I don't have to go into that.
The one thing you notice about Tony straight away is when you meet him is his beautiful blue eyes, and he has such light in his eyes, like little twinkly stars. And he's very warm. He's just like my partner Michael loves him, and Tony's a real bloke. He's a real Aussie. He's even got tats, and to all you people out there that love astrology, Tony's a Taurus.
Yeah, number one.
So he's very down to earth.
Yeah.
And I
never saw myself as a spiritual person. Never. I never thought I would have been doing this as a job or doing what I'm doing. I'll never forget the day Spirit said to me, it's time for you to stop doing your drinking, stop doing all this, you've had enough of the partying, now you've got to start working. I'm going, what am I going to do? And here's me talking to Spirit going, what am I doing? Who was talking to me? And it was actually them, and they gave me a big wake-up call.
And Tony, the reason why we all have addictions, it's all self-medication.
Yeah.
It's medicating yourself from your pain and trauma.
Yeah, just covering the pain in my heart, which I didn't even know I had. Well, I knew I had some, but a lot of people said to me, you hold so much pain in your heart. I can't feel it. And when I actually stumbled across it one day, I thought, oh my God, it took me 6 months to fix it. I stopped healing, I stopped doing everything I was doing until I healed myself, and then I came back and said, right, now I'm ready. So that was a big journey on its own too.
At the time, with what we've been through in the last 3 years, what keeps coming to me at the moment is just to keep focusing on self and healing, self-healing, and to stay in the moment and not get too far ahead. What advice would you give to others who are really struggling at the moment? Because I know a lot of people out there are really struggling.
Okay.
Just to stay positive, because
Spirit showed me something the other day. Because I had my back went out, and it went out for 2 weeks, and the pain was incredible. I'd come home, I couldn't stand up, I couldn't lie down, I couldn't sit, I couldn't do anything. And I was in the truck driving, and I thought, I got to do something about this, because this pain, getting jumped around the truck and everything, it was really hurting. I thought, this is in the base chakra, this is in the sacral chakra, in the solar plexus. It's all lower dimensional energy. How about I start pushing that energy down and out through my legs, down into the feet and out through into Mother Earth, because I don't need that energy anymore. This is all past, way past lives, everything. And I started to push, and I could literally feel it as I was pushing it down and letting go of all third dimensional energies and replacing it with fifth and beyond. And only accepting fifth and beyond energies. These three dimensional energies has to be gone, has to be let go of if you want to move forward. The vibrations of pain that a lot of people are feeling now is three-dimensional. And the way I see it is we don't need it anymore. So we just disown it from our bodies and just tell yourself you're going to let it go. You don't need to hold these third-dimensional energies any longer, and push it and literally push it down to the ground and allow the fifth-dimensional energies to come through, and your whole body changes. And within a day of doing that, my back was good again, just like that, bang. Took me 2 weeks to work it out, but I got it.
Because a lot of people I know, we had a few solar flares this week, and
a lot.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, they're very regular at the moment, and a lot of people are feeling them on an energetic level, and a lot of people have been feeling grief and sadness in the last week.
Let it go.
I think we're all grieving the old world leaving too.
Doesn't know. I look forward to the new one. I couldn't be bothered about the old one. It's been too dark.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep.
It's
dark
time
and
to let
heavy.
it go. Yeah. I mean, the place that we're going is going to be so beautiful. It's incredible, and you can get glimpses of it.
Yes.
Yeah, in different ways you can get glimpses of it. So,
what have you been seeing, Tony, with the new Earth?
The new Earth.
What glimpses have you seen? What have
More
you seen?
connected.
Yep.
More feeling. I get days where I feel amazing, like I've never felt before. I'm thinking, yeah, that's a glimpse of the new energy coming through you, and it's absolutely so powerful. It's incredible. The glimpses that we get is just freedom. No slavery.
Yep.
Freedom, total freedom, and abundance like you've never had before. Not material. This is abundance of everything that we need.
Yes. Not wants.
The power that we were before, that we will be again. The power of being able to be connected with absolutely everything and being one with everything again.
Yeah.
That's what we're feeling.
Yes.
That to me, that's really powerful.
Yeah. I experienced that feeling when I was at Uluru, but also when I took the plant medicine ayahuasca.
Yeah.
I just felt this absolute connection to everything, everyone, elementals, the stars, the star beings. Just felt absolute love and heart expansion. But it's been hard to maintain. So some days you have your good days, some days you have your bad days. But
that's okay, no. You're going to have your flows.
Like you're riding the waves.
You're going to have your ups and downs, and that's all part of you ascending. So be okay with it. Don't sit there and fight it. Sorry, we got a house full of midgies.
Yeah.
I would say just be okay with it. Accept it for what it is and let it go. Make sure you let it go. Make sure you offer forgiveness to yourself for hanging on to it. Offer those who need the forgiveness and just let it go and be okay with that.
Tony, I know last year when we were going through all the lockdown stuff and, the mandates, the vaccine mandates started to roll out.
Yeah.
And, it's been nearly 12 months on and, we've seen a lot in the last 12 months. We've seen the abundance of ambulance call-outs.
I see it every day on the road. The amount of ambulances, I see the amount of people that sit in the middle of the highway doing 100 k's and all of a sudden hit brakes for no reason. Just pulling up and you just trying to steer around them. It's like, oh my God. They have no idea, and the people that come up beside you and all of a sudden they panic and they shoot off everywhere. It's insane, and it's like they're in another world, and I believe they are. They're not here anymore. It's scary.
Have you had an opportunity in your work, your healing work, to work on anyone that's had the jab?
Many,
And what
many.
has been your experience energetically?
Darkness with them. There's a dark energies attached with them. I've deleted a lot of those. There's not, I guess it's not really a lot we can do because there was a choice people made. Some people didn't make that choice, I know that.
And as we know, this is a free will universe.
Free will universe. I made the choice not to. I quit, did what I had to do because I wasn't getting it. There's no way you're going to stick that shit in my body. It's a hard one to answer that.
Yeah.
It is.
I had great judgment last year towards those who went and got the vaccine, but I've been humbled a lot by Spirit. The Spirit always humbles you.
Yeah, you have to.
And the judgment's gone. I feel more compassion and empathy for these people, these souls now.
Yep.
As I've heard of many, many deaths. Just recently I had a customer come into work who had lost her husband, 57-year-old husband, back in February. He was sitting on the couch watching television, had a massive heart attack. Died on the spot, 57 years of age. But then that street that they lived in, and I will name the suburb, it's Lilydale, which is the most eastern suburb of Melbourne. This one street, for a whole month, every second house, the male died of the same thing, heart attacks. Now, this woman, unfortunately, she just got back from a retreat in Dalesford, a healing retreat, but had no idea about the agenda. And
a lot of people don't. I meet a lot of people, and I just say to them, look at the chemtrails in the sky, and they say, what? Chemtrails, look at that. Tomorrow it's going to rain. You watch. How do you know? You watch and see. Sure enough, rains the next day. They don't know about the cloud seeding. They don't understand the different shapes of clouds that are now in our skies that shouldn't be there. Well, it's just a cloud. No, it's not just a cloud. They're trying to kill us right from the top.
Yep. Yeah. What I've noticed this year too, with the attacks that we've been getting with the geoengineering is... and I was speaking to this homeopath that I saw nearly 2 weeks ago who picked up that I had the protein shedding from the AstraZeneca jab, is that they've been trying to lower our mojo, our life force energy.
They're not going to.
Especially those who are awake.
Yeah, they're not going to. They're not going to get it.
Because they know that we've come back. Where old souls come back here.
On the other side of this, we're fighting a battle. A lot of spiritual people are fighting a spiritual battle that others can't see. So there's a lot going on the other side. Sometimes we do it when we know. We actually go in and do some serious work. I'm not going to say too much because they can go to.
Yeah.
And other times we're doing it while we're sleeping. We wake up just...
buggered. Yep.
Oh my God, what a night.
Yeah. And there's sometimes I've woken up with marks on my body.
Yeah, because you're in battle. We're all warriors. We're here to save this planet. We're here to fight.
And it's not just a physical war, it's been an astral. One in the astral as well.
This is the biggest war we've ever seen on this planet, in the universe. And this is huge. And we're all here for that reason, to sort this out, to fight it and win, beat it, and close off all the darkness forever.
Yeah.
Never to let it happen again.
It's exciting times ahead, and to even think about this golden age that we're going to be coming into, and even feeling worthy of being here at this time, and
it's powerful.
It's powerful, and
And to meet and see more and more spiritual people coming out with the same stories, same thing. Oh my God, I would have to do this and that. It's excuse me, it really is powerful. It's a powerful time to be alive, amazing time to be alive.
It is. One thing that I've found, Tony, that I've tried hard not to be judgmental of, but as you know, I'm a healer myself and I do readings and things like that with the tarot. But when someone tells me that they're psychic, but yet they haven't been able to see through the agendas,
Can't judge.
I know.
I've lost so many people that are spiritual that have gone down that track. Whether it be choice, whether they're forced, coerced.
Okay.
Family is coerced them.
Yep.
Friends, they couldn't deal with their friends the way they had to. So you can't say anything. You can't judge them. It's just, again, personal choices.
Yep.
So you have to, okay, you were spiritual, you still are spiritual. I have seen some people come back even harder spiritual people than what they were before. Stronger.
Yep.
Like more connected. It was like, how the hell's that happen? I had people come in here for readings, and when it first started, I couldn't read them. I said, what's going on? You've been jabbed, yes? Yeah. I was like, I can't read you. I don't know why I can't read you. And I had another lady come in for a reading a week later, and she sat here and she said, oh, I'm jabbed. I'm going, oh, geez, this is going to be fun. And I read her so beautifully. It's like, okay, what just happened? And I've noticed that more and more of the people that got jabbed that were spiritual are actually more spiritual now than what they were before. So it's actually triggered something in them. That's woke them up. It's like, whew, what is actually going on? So I don't think we really all know what's going on. We just go along with it.
But the thing is, they're very scared of our 12-strand DNA being completely switched on. They call it junk DNA.
It's not junk DNA.
Yeah.
It never was. And I'm not a scientist, but I know more than what they do. We know more than what they do. It's just do your research properly.
And what are your plans for the rest of the year, Tony? Are you going to be taking some time off work, or?
Yeah, I want to go away and sit in bush.
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to.
Is that your way of bringing balance to yourself? What do you?
No, it's just time off.
Yep.
It's just sitting in water. I love water.
Yep.
If we can get the sun to come out.
Yes.
If they stop cloud seeding and messing with our skies, we'll get some sun and we'll be able to go swimming, and that's what I want.
Do you still have time to do healings and?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I do the weekends now.
Weekends.
House cleanings on the weekends and healings on the weekends, and
I know you're busy with house clearings.
Oh boy, they've been very hectic lately, like I've never had before. A lot of pedophile work. Yeah. Pedophilia and trafficking, and
Can you just please give us that example of what recently happened?
Okay, I can't mention names.
Names, yes. But just in a suburb in Melbourne, we won't say what suburb. Yep.
Melbourne, a lady called me up, said my daughter, 3-year-old daughter, is extremely worried right now, and she will not sleep in the room, she will not go into the toy room, and she said there's monsters in the house. I thought, okay, I'll come out. And she did tell me that her daughter used to see a young girl, and the girl would play with her and it'd be okay and everything would be okay, but then this little girl turned into a monster, and the monster scared her. So we went out, my partner and I, we went out to have a look, and walked into her bedroom, the young girl's bedroom, and I felt the energy, I saw the energy. I said, right, show me who you truly are. And it turned out to be a 45-year-old male who was a pedophile and was trying to molest this little girl and trying to get her friendship by being a little girl himself. shape-shifting.
Yeah.
And I spent a little bit of time with him trying to find out whether he touched her or whether he did anything to her, because spirit can do whatever they want. He didn't. He assured me that he didn't. But then I said, I have no time for you anyway. And I shoved him into another dimension, got rid of him. And changed the energy in the whole house. Everything changed, and there was another spirit there looking after this young girl anyway, which was my partner's daughter, which was very powerful and blew us both away. And yeah, that's hard when you do that work, because you know the kids are being affected as well, even by pedophiles that are in spirit world. And I hadn't come across that, and I thought, it's just never ending. Even in that world, they're still trying to do their,
Yeah. I, when I was in my early 20s, experienced sleep paralysis one night, and I know that it was my pedophile grandfather trying to affect me. But since then, I've grown spiritually, and he's never been able to harm me or try and harm me since from spirit. But Tony, how can some of my followers on YouTube and friends, what's the best way to reach you and contact you if they wish to see you?
Peaceful Encounters.
That's the website.
That's my website, Peaceful
Yep.
Encounters.
Peaceful
It's
Encounters.
got a big pyramid on it, so you can't miss it. You can contact me if you wish through there.
And any books or anything that you've been reading, Tony? Do you
I don't read books.
He doesn't read books.
I don't read other people's perception of the
Yep.
world.
Okay.
This is all my own. This is all my own teachings
Yep.
and learnings. I don't listen to anybody else. I'll
Yeah.
take what I need, but no, this is me. If there's one book everyone should read, it's The Secret in the Bible. That's pretty powerful. It's
I've
the
never
only
heard
book
of that
I've
one.
ever read.
Mm.
It's all about secret codes. I think I can't remember now. I can't remember the book. It's been that long since I've read it. For me, it was a powerful book. If you can find it, I did find somebody found it, and it was so expensive. Like I paid $10 for it, and now it's $170 or something. So it must be a powerful book.
And Tony has really impressed me. He's got a lot of knowledge too on the QFS, the quantum financial system. He's we've taught me a lot today. I'm very impressed with what he's done, because I just know the amount of research that he's done and what it's taken to get where he's at. There's been a lot of research go behind it, and XRP.
I've been saying it for years to people, and people just don't believe me, but you're about to see how big it's going to be. If you get on now and get on board, you're going to be very happy.
Yep.
Now, it's not about how much money you have. It's about what you're going to do with the money once it comes in, because this world needs fixing.
Yeah.
And there's only 1% of the population that actually know about the quantum financial system and the XRP, because they just haven't looked into it. But the ones who have, we're going to be resetting all of this, because we're not talking a few $1,000s, we're talking a lot of money.
Millions, even trillions.
Trillions of dollars.
Yeah. Yes. And those who have really studied and invested in XRP, Lobster, XLM,
and XDC, IOTA, MyOTA, and Algorand. They're all on the ISO 20022. You do your research into that. That'll show you the new quantum financial system, how it's all set up. It's going to be good.
Yes.
It's already here, but they're holding it back.
Yeah.
Because they don't want us to have it. And it's all about Nasara, freedom.
Because that was going to be well, they were going to try and implement that back in 2001, but I think, Tony, I don't think I would have been ready on a conscious level.
No, I wouldn't have been ready either.
For that way of life.
I think I would have gone to the pub a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then, but no.
I don't think I was ready for a quantum financial system then either.
No.
I think we've had to go through what we've gone through and raise our consciousness.
It's all worked out.
Yep.
Perfectly.
Yes.
It's all working out perfectly. So
and
everything is timed absolutely perfectly right now.
And, I do believe our thoughts are very powerful and, we set good intentions and we can be powerful creators.
Speaking of that, we went and got a takeaway pizza the other night and we walked into this Pizza Hut place, not Pizza Hut, pizza shop here in Warragul, and there was a guy standing there before us, just opening up. We let him in. He went and ordered his pizza, we ordered ours, he walked out. And because I was in a good space and doing some plant medicine, I'm not going to say too much, I was reading everybody in the street and I was having a ball. I saw what they had, and even checked out to make sure that the lady in the shop wasn't a reptilian. And she wasn't, she was just a nice lady. But Fiona was going down to pick up the pizza and I was just watching her go into the shop and then this guy that went in first, he walking down behind her, and he was actually, I saw something wasn't right with him. So I wrapped the shop up, I wrapped Fiona up, and then I did a few symbols on this man, and that man couldn't enter the shop. He tried about 3 times to enter the shop and he couldn't until Fiona left and then he walked in.
Wow.
So there you go, he was trying to take. And
Right.
as Fiona walked past him, there was eye contact and it was like, oh Jesus. So she even knew that something wasn't right as he was going in and she was coming out, and she got in the car and said, I wrapped you up, that's why he couldn't get in. And she goes, oh my God. So the power of creation right now is insane. If you want to protect, you want to do something, you want to create something, you want to manifest something, it is like that now.
Mm.
It's never been like this before, and it's so powerful and so beautiful. So with good intent, do what you need to do to change your world, to change how you live, to change how you feel. If you don't like it, change it. Simple. One of the best ways I could say for people that are struggling right now is imagine, going back to that topic, imagine that your skin is a piece of clothing and you have a zip that starts at the top of your head and goes all the way down to your feet. Unzip that layer of skin and let it fall back. And as it falls back, all those attachments, all the heavy energies that you're holding on to or being thrown at you, just let them fall off behind you and walk away from them, leaving them behind. For those who can't understand that way, imagine that you're inside a sleeping bag and the sleeping bag is zipped up over your head. And inside the sleeping bag, you pull the sleeping bag down and the sleeping bag falls back and opens up. And as you open up, your light comes and lights up from inside. And
you leave that old shell behind.
You leave it all behind. You leave all your attachments, your cords, you leave all the spears, you leave everything that's been thrown at you, everything that you've collected, everything that you've dragged along with you, it all falls off behind, and I can guarantee you will feel lighter as you unzip and let go. I've taught so many people that and they just go, oh my God, I feel so much better. Yeah, it's really easy. It's simple. I like to do simple.
Well, thank you, Tony, and it's coming up to nearly an hour. That's gone really quickly.
Wow.
I just can't think of anything else you'd like to say to my followers.
Stay positive.
Yeah.
Stay in the light and don't ever give up. Not yet. Because you don't ever give up. Because this is going to be amazing on the other side. We just got a little bit more work to do, that's all.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
And remember, if you're wanting to contact Tony, his website is Peaceful Encounters. Thank you, Tony.